What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my all new review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We are back with Stormy and Melody having a conversation about why they haven't spoken. Stormy says that she knows that Melody tends to disconnect, but she never thought that Melody would do it to her. My thought process was maybe you're not at that level of a friendship with Mel, so you will automatically know and that she wouldn't feel away. But if you did feel away, you should have reached out. But Stormy wanted Melody to tell her right then and there, I'm checking out. It's nothing against you. This is what I do when filming is done. But I feel like that's a high expectation to have for someone you are constantly saying you're in a building stage of a friendship. So you're not friends with her yet for you to not feel slighted if she tends to disconnect. So that's something I'm not understanding. And even though Stormy says she texted Mel, but she did not go to call where she didn't hear the disconnecting tone, and she did not DM when Melody said you could have DM'd me. I don't get Stormy's against DMing Melody because shout out to the Oulays first panel. We found out that that's how they connected. They connected through a DM. They would DM each other stuff all the time. Stormy would comment on Melody's pictures and vice versa. So why wouldn't you go back to the original way you contacted her? Why is that a difficult thing to do? If I have my friend's number, but yet the number could have changed and I didn't know, I have her Instagram or I have her Facebook. I will either message her or DM her so I can get in contact. That's what I would do. I wouldn't just wait for an explanation. If I want to find out, I will find out. And it was annoying for me to see Stormy try to come up with an issue about why Melly didn't reach out or why Melly didn't tell her about disconnecting when you could have reached out. Like, if it was really bothering you that Melody wasn't talking to you and you discovered that her number might have changed, reach out to a DM. There's nothing against that. And when she did disconnect, Melody asked Stormy, did you think it was an issue that I didn't talk to you or I disconnected? She said, no, I didn't think it was, but we haven't talked. Then we talk about the reunion where they didn't say nothing and their rooms were right next to each other. Melody ended up saying, I did say hi. I did say you look pretty, but Stormy want to say we've been there for 10 hours. My thing is, when it comes to reunion, you're in your dressing room all day with your glam squad. You talking about what you're gonna say at the reunion, and Melly probably needed time to prep about how to come into the reunion. She did have a lot going on last season, so yeah, she's not about to stop and say, "Let me speak to Stormy for a minute." So the expectations are a little bit high, Stormy. And moving on from there, finding out that Stormy is feeling a way that Melody could be mad at her about a recording that Destiny showed Martell last season, because Melly did an interview that everybody has seen where she doesn't give a damn about who Martell is dating. And this isn't the first time he's been photographed with another woman. So people were coming into Stormy's comments about, oh, Melly mad at you. You did that. You were in her home and da 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 da. So, but this is nothing new. Melody has said the same thing at every interview she's done. So my thing is, why is Stormy making it seem as if it's her fault, or why is she feeling like Melody is mad at her for it? So who put the bug in Stormy's ear that made it seem as if Melody was mad at her? Because Melody did put out a tweet to say, I wonder who recorded me. A blank statement that could have been to anybody. My thing is, somebody from Destiny's fans recorded it, sent it to Destiny. Destiny wanted to use it, and now it's bounced back to Stormy. But I don't get how Stormy could feel like this. That's the thing that I don't get. Why would Melody be mad at you? And why would you allow for comments to make it seem as if you had something to do with it, or making it seem as if, you're in trouble? Hence, so why she was concerned about why she haven't spoken to Mel. Maybe she felt like Mel was mad at her for that, but it did not put Stormy in that predicament to find out for herself. Like, she wasted all this time until we get on camera for her to address this problem. So, other than that, Melody said, I've been in this game for a while. Don't let it get to you. She said, I don't, but I have to speak up because people want us to have an issue, and I gotta say something. Because people will try to spin things to make it true when it's not true, and then it becomes true. If you know that the situation isn't true, why would you agree that it could be true? It is not true. Um, she also says that she needs to manage her expectation of this friendship that she's growing with Melody. And I'm like, it's vice versa, because Melody even said she did not expect this coming from Stormy, because they have had conversations and laughed about not being needy in friendships. So what's up with that? Because Melody says that her real friends know how she get down, know how she moves, and they don't have a problem with this. So why does Stormy does? Knowing that Melody did come in with information that Stormy and her mom could be doing some things behind the scenes that could be making her feel away, hence why Melody don't want to fool with them. That she doesn't want to have any friends from the show. She'd rather have the friends she's established before the show and not have to be involved in the show, which is for what it is. Now this issue that's becoming an issue is annoying me, because it's giving me Destiny 2.0, and I find it really annoying. Like, why are we having an issue about this? This doesn't make any sense. Then Kiki come in, Tisha's feeling away because they did not leave things good at the reunion, and now she wants to make sure that she keeps her peace and her distance. I'm not dealing with this, not so ever. Kimmy talking to Martell about how she's happy that Maurice is in her life. Then she opens up the conversation about having that person in your life. Does Martell miss having that special someone in his life that's there for you, whether it's good or bad? Do you miss it? He said, girl, yes, he does. No shit, he does miss it. He miss Mel. He miss having, all the things he miss about Mel. He don't even like to travel because it's not meaningful. And in his roundabout way, he's missing Mel. But we've all known and seen how he would always say things that gives us the impression he missed Mel. And Kimmy talks about remembering that they were a couple, remembering how they met as a couple, they became friends with the couple, they had a good time. Just like it was last season when Tisha and Marceau were remembering how it was when Mel and Martell were together. And Kimmy remembered they were told to stop saying it, stop bringing it up. Martell is telling Kimmy, stop not saying it. I'm not going to tell you to stop saying it. I want you to keep on saying it, which I don't like it. It's a game. Why are you feeding into his game? Kimmy, for real. Leave it alone. Stop bringing them how they used to be. Stop bringing them how happy they were. Stop bringing them how you guys were such good friends. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. It's not good. It's annoying. They're divorced. They're going to stay divorced. He needs to move on like she has been moving on. Stop bringing it up, because it's a recurring storyline that we've had for season after seasons. The cast always remember how Mel and Martell were together. They're not used to them being divorced. Whoop-de-doo. Get over it. Okay? So hearing that he misses old life, he misses wife back, we all know that ain't nothing new. Melody's getting ready to leave. Martell wants to walk her to the car. She's saying, no, I'm good. I have walked myself to my car by myself plenty of times. He wants to be a gentleman. I'm using air quotes. Wants to protect her. There could be wolves out there. She said, I'm good. I'm good. He's holding her purse hostage. I did not like that. It was annoying. Then he wants to rope Lewis and Tiffany in to play the same game with them, and I didn't like it. He even said, hey, we're leaving, we're gone. Insinuate that they're leaving together so people can have something to talk about, and she didn't like that because she was annoyed. To see the look on her face in this scene, she was annoyed, she was mad, she was angry, and she didn't like it. She's not happy. And she said, for once, I wish that my wishes were respected. If I say I'm good, I'm good. Can my nose mean no? And when I say I'm good, that means I'm good. And I don't want you to walk me to my car. I don't get it. What's so hard about that? Wants to keep on correcting her that she didn't park across the street. She parked here, she parked there. Oh my God. And it annoyed me that Tiffany and Lewis were laughing about the whole thing. Tiffany trying to say that when I go out to work events, my business partner don't want me to walk by myself because she's pregnant. I get that, Tiffany, but that doesn't count for this. No, it don't. Then, she's the whole mother of my 4 kids. I want to walk her. She just goes ahead and walks. He couldn't walk her to the car. He walked to the door, and she did park right in front. So I don't know what he meant by across the street. Does he not know how directions work? It's literally right in front, like 5 steps. It was annoying. I didn't like that at all. It was annoying me, annoying me, annoying me. And then wants to say that Melody didn't really want me to walk her to her car. She wanted me to walk her to her car. Keep telling yourself that. Keep making it seem as if Melody is playing games with your ass, because she's not. And this is where people get mad at Melody for, I guess, not following along, not pretending that her and Martell were in a good place, as if we have not seen what's been going on throughout the blogs and social media and everything. That ain't gonna work. We're not gonna play pretend as if this man isn't actively seeking sole custody from her kids. I don't get it. So, Kimmy. Kimmy is packing up for surgery, having a conversation with Maurice, thanking him for being a part of her life. Then talk about Martell, missing Mel. There's no surprise to that. And Maurice called Martell double-minded and unstable. He needs to figure it out, make it make sense, sir. You say you love her, the next day you hate her. And when you are the person who's made so many mistakes, caused so many issues, you're going to have a cold response from here on out. It's cold out there, ain't it? Which is exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? And he noticed that Martell was looking very sad and down, that he didn't walk Melly to her car. And he joked. Kimmy wants to know what did he say to him. He said, I joked with him. I said, it's cold out there, ain't it? Which it is. So I feel like either Maurice is finally breaking down and admitting that the way that Martell has been doing things isn't fun, isn't cool. Because they even talked about how Mel wasn't around a lot of people. Mel tends to disconnect, get back to herself, get back to her peace, which is nothing wrong with that. So for Martell to think that he had an end by saying he could walk into her car, knowing all the things he's done, all the things he has continued to do, is going to give him brownie points? No. So unstable and double-minded. He needs to figure out what he wants. He knows what he wants. He wants Mel, but he's going about it in a roundabout way that's crazy, that's stalking, that's narcissist, that's controlling, and it's not looking good. But people will rather up Martell for the way he's presenting himself on camera versus then actually seeing what he's doing to Melody. Martell, he crashes the Fletcher's date, which Chris knew but didn't tell Nell. And talking about what's going on in his life. They've been good friends. They've seen Melody and Martell at their worst. Remember when they met up at Nell and Chris's home, and Martell had the nerve to brag about how coleslaw was satisfying him, and Melody threw the glass at him. She was pissed that day because she felt like, I'm sick of you saying that. If you felt like that, you should divorce me a long time ago. Period. And he don't like the single life, but then we find out that he has introduced Sheree to the Fletchers. How long was that? When at some point did you introduce the Fletchers to Sheree? That's just like how within 2 months you introduce Sheree to your children. How fast does Martell mind work? And you keep on saying that you and Sheree are just friends. You don't introduce someone who's just a friend to your close friends. That's not how that works. It's a storyline. It's a publicity stunt. That's what this is. Then, as far as like, is Sheree the one and da-da-da-da, he said like Melody said, God said go. He's waiting for God to say when he gonna get married again. And he said, I'm planning on proposing this year. Proposing to who? Sheree? It ain't coleslaw. Who you proposing to? So, I don't like the fact that in every scene he keeps on saying how Sheree isn't a girlfriend. Sheree's just a friend. I want to know how the same question will be asked about Sheree when we get to the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Is she going to lie and do the same thing? I just want to know. Then they discuss him and Mel not communicating, how they don't have a conversation at all. They don't talk. When he has a kid, she don't call because she don't want to fool with you. You're going to try to call and rope her in a conversation about how things used to be, how you missed her. Like we find out that you are continuously still doing. We find out you sent her 10 dozen roses. So, moving on. Then, as far as the court situation, what happened with the court situation? He put her to court. He put her in court because the babysitters. So what's the problem with the babysitters? She has too many. How many is too many? 20. Is 20 how high he can go? First is the 20 women's, and now it's 20 babysitters. So Nell asked him, you know for a fact she's had 20 babysitters? You know that to be true? How you know if it's not true? I.e. it's not true. If you want to ask that question, what if it's true? What if it's not true? Then you know it's not true. Do you have proof? Do you know who she's hired? Do you know their names, their Instagrams? Name me somebody of these 20 babysitters that she's used, sir. Name me one. So he wants to create a problem. Okay, saying how the kids need stability, the kids need to have supervised, qualified supervision. By whose definition? Yours? Because finding out later on, that plan was agreed upon, but it didn't work. By who? By you. So this is all a tactic, a ploy for you to control Melody, control who she's around, control who she's with, and you don't have that access, sir. You don't. Yes, you guys are raising children, but I just don't like the fact that he wants to act as if Melody wouldn't find the right people to watch her children. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. So then he keeps on bringing up Melody's brother, how the brother came down and watched the kids for a couple of days, and he's upset because he didn't get the heads up. What? So, knowing that joint custody was already put in place, do you honestly think that Mel calls you every 5 minutes to want to know who's watching her kids as if she wouldn't know who you would use to watch your children? And the same thing applies to her. When it's her week, she has the ability to hire whoever she wants to hire because it's her week. You don't control that. And I don't know if anybody will catch it, but he is constantly bringing up the brother. And we know that the brother is gay, and he's being very homophobic about it. But you didn't have this energy when you were married to Mel. And I'm pretty sure that her brother has watched the kids before while you were married to Mel, and you didn't have a problem. You got a problem now. Why? So, other than what he said last season, when he wanted to make it seem as if Melody and her brother don't know each other, he came into her life when she was a teenager. How old is Melody now? It's been more than a few years. They have solidified a relationship where she trusts him enough to watch her kids. So you convince me. You grasping for straws. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. You want to control who she sees, control who's around her. The judge will never grant that for you. Period. Tisha. Tisha meets the new bartender BP, who's very fine, very sexy, good eye candy, all right? She's meeting up with her cousin Courtney. This scene to me was forced. It was created. It shows that Tisha don't have any friends on the show. Because out of all people, you meet up with your cousin, and we've only seen... Well, we saw a full, but maybe not full scope of the Scott's family from last season. So now you're bringing your cousin along. Why? I feel like it's also you don't have anybody to film, and you want to have someone on your side against Kiki. That's what you're doing, because that's how I see it. Pretty much it's talking about business. Tisha got her broker's license. Congratulations. And she has a brokerage firm, and she wants her cousin to come on board. She's been in realty for the last 5 years. But her cousin just said she just transitioned from her old brokerage to her new brokerage. So to get asked to come to another brokerage after just moving could be a bit of a transition, a hard transition for her to just up and do. Then it cut from that to Courtney talking about where is Tisha and Kiki in their relationship right now. And the cousin talks about while she was going through college, she's lived with Kiki and Tisha for a period of a time. They were there for her, so she wants them to get back to how they were. And Tisha said that she's tried to fix it, but she wants Kiki to admit the mistakes that she's made. And they've gone through a lot. They've dealt with quite a couple of losses. Courtney's mom and their grandma. So we have to get things back together. But then she talked about how Kiki was suffering the life that she should have had. I want to know what that meant. I don't get what that means. Are you trying to say that Kiki wants Tisha's life? Because I've seen some rumblings that people think that Kiki is jealous of Tisha. How? Kiki is educated. Kiki got shit to do. She got her own life. She's not focused on Tisha like that. So I don't know what mourning the loss meant. I felt like she could be mourning a time period where she was fighting her addiction and she's trying to clean that up and do better. That part I can get, but the life, I'm not really getting the life part. Then we know the history about how Tisha and Kiki got close. I don't know why Tisha had to give us another story, which we already knew. And then pictures. Oh, wow. See, Kiki and Tisha look dead on alike, you know. But find out that Kiki got into A&M University first. Told Tisha there was a scholarship. Tisha got in, got a full ride. So how do we break the ice? How do we get y'all to come together? Letitia wanted to bargain of having a conversation with Kiki for her cousin Courtney to come on board at her brokerage. I didn't like that type of bargain. You should have given her some time for her to think about it, but you wanted to wager, if I do this, you do this. That wasn't good. That wasn't a good business tactic, and that wasn't a good family. I mean, sometimes working with family can get very tricky, but I didn't like that. Why do you want your cousin to work for you so much? I feel like you want someone on your side. That's all I can see. I don't see you trying to bring the family together. I see you want someone to only believe Tisha. That's all I see. So in order for her and Kiki to fix their relationship, she wants Kiki to admit that what she did was wrong. Wants Kiki to act like she's fixed and not, believe that she's fixed and not act like she's fixed and still gets mad about things. I feel like that applies to you too, Tisha. You hold on to things just like Kiki does, and you make passive aggressive comments about how you're feeling. So same way applies to both. All right, moving on. Mel. Mel meets up with Nell, talk about how things are going. Nell has a daycare that's doing really good. And wondering, how's dating life? She said dating life is cool. I mean, especially coming from being married. People act like it's harder than what it is, but it's actually really nice. It's really cool. And learning to love herself again. The producers are asking, is there a rumor out there that she got a man? Melody said, listen, my life is my life. There is more things happening in Huntsville, Alabama than worried about who I'm dating, who I'm laying up with. And I feel like people need to give Melody that right to have that part of her life private. Please let that part of her life be private. She's already given us a lot about how she's dealing with her children, her business. Let her dating life be private. Then Nell brings up Martell. Martell crashed their date, trying to understand that he's trying to find his peace. You have found your peace. Knowing that you guys are being co-parents, you're going to have to be in each other's lives and blah, blah, blah. Melody knows that she has to raise kids with this man, but that doesn't mean she has to like everything that he does in order to do it. She has the right to say, I can do this, but I will not do this. Then Nell mentioned the babysitters. And it's not surprising to Mel that Martell would disclose what goes on in their custody battle agreement to other people. And now he spun his narrative. He spun his version of how the custody battle has been going. He has always tried to paint her out to be this horrible person because she left him. Painting her out to be this horrible mother who has strangers watching her children. It's not surprising. It's what he did last season. He put I Hate Mel campaign. That's exactly what he did. And literally, anybody who listened, he would say something. Now, she said she's only had a handful of people watch her children, and it's been in her home. Never dropped them off to a place they don't know. Never around people they don't know. And I feel like Martell knows that. And it really shows it shows his character, that he's willing to portray Mel out to be this horrible monster. Not the monster that Marlene is trying to say Melody is doing. No, it's the opposite. Okay? And it's been the same narrative he spun since she left him in 2020. You trying to turn people against me and dog me out. And how would they know? How would people feel and know that the same people you try to turn against me are the ones that are going to hear you trying to give me to take you back? In that order. And of course, people get mad that Melody says that, but it's the truth. Everything that Martell does, he does things one way, then we find out he does things this way. I said earlier, he sent her 10 dozen roses. We're finding out that he still wants to bring up how they used to be. He did that last season. Kept on bringing up the pictures of their last family reunion. Want to have moments of, we were good together, da-da-da, da-da-da. And it flashes back to the beginning of the season, the first season, him apologizing because she couldn't trust him. Him saying he will stop communicating with that certain woman. He kept doing it, apologizing again, wanting to slide back into her, come back to her. No, he's made too many mistakes, tried to fix it, made the mistake again, and she's done. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You want to dog her out, but yet you want to keep her bringing up how you guys used to be at family vacations. No. And anytime Mel's at that point where she wants to give him an inch, he takes a mile. We've seen how he would take a mile over something so small. Just like how he crashed the vacation home, thinking that was a step of them reconciling. No, it wasn't. All right? So, miss me, okay? Miss me. So the whole entire time, after all these years, he's been lying to her and lying about her. And I don't know why people will continually believe what this man says. Because Martell is charming. Martell has a way of saying things and people automatically believe him. But Martell can never answer a direct question when you ask him things. He brings them another statement, doesn't answer the question. So as far as like the babysitter situation, have y'all agreed to have a certain amount where you guys both can agree on? They tried that. It didn't work because people don't want to fool with Martell. Martell probably had a long list of ridiculous demands when it came down to these babysitters, meaning the ones that he's not going to be around when they're around Melody. He wants to know how these people are around her, not making sure that the kids are good. Who's going to be around her? Who's talking to her? He wants to protect her from other men that will scoop her up and give her what she deserves. But that's what he wants to prevent, but he can't prevent that. You cannot prevent that. And you stepped out on your marriage and you never thought that Melody would leave you, but she did. And now that I did leave you, it does not authorize you to control everything that I do because I have kids with you. That doesn't work. So, knowing that she says Martell has called her 50 times, texted her 50 times, we're not doing that. And she breaks down with crying about the possibility of her not seeing her kids every day. I mean, it's already enough that she has a week with her kids and then the other week they're with their dad. And how many weeks are in a month? How many months are in a year? Half the year she sees her kids, not the whole year. And for anybody who has kids like me, I would not want that. People think that Mel's living her best life because she doesn't have her kids the next week. No, that's not how it was. That's not how she thought it was going to be. She never thought at some point she would not see her kids every day. Not being in a marriage that she thought was going to be forever. And that's still hurting her. It's only been a couple of years since the divorce. And everything is still fresh. Everything is still hurting. So that's a part that a lot of people miss. And you don't get to control everything about me. You don't get to control what I do because I have kids with you. And I'm not about to deal with your old pull-up following ass. That's what she said. Said that with her chest. Did we also forget when she was going out on a date, he would follow her and videotaped her? Did we forget that? This man has been constantly doing things that's pushing her away. Not pushing her towards him, pushing her away. Keeping her distance, keeping her sanity, keeping her peace. I like to put in boundaries in place of everything. So, Martell has done this multiple times in multiple ways, making it seem as if that Melody doesn't care about the kids more than he does. Hence why he keeps on saying the babysitter comment. Why does she have to go out of town so much? Why does she doesn't do this? He always puts things way that it affects how Melody looks every single time. Now, Nell did not know that. And she's happy that Nell reached out to her to get her side of the story because you wouldn't have gotten the full story. So it's very gross that Martell is masking his controlling behavior with a good story. And I don't know how people are not reading through the bullshit. I don't know why. So that's why she moves the way that she moves. To protect her peace, her serenity. She's changed her number 5 times since she's left him. And she wishes that she was in a relationship, a good co-parent relationship with her ex where it doesn't have to be like this. She said they have gone to lunch where they would just say, hey, you want to go out to lunch with the kids? I think they'll be really nice. I think they'll enjoy it. It hasn't worked because Martell will always think there's hope, always think there's a chance, and there will never be a chance. There have been too many betrayal of trust. That's why she has trust. That's why she doesn't trust nobody with her number, trust anybody with what she's doing. That's why. So knowing that Melody has gone through every single option of making things cool and copacetic with Martell, he fucks it up. Hence why she's moving the way that she moves. And people are mad about the way that she's moving. As if we're not looking at the way he's done. Look at what he's doing to her. He's trying to take her kids from her. Giving her all these sweet messages, but treating her like shit in the cameras. That's why whenever she fights back of what he wants to do, he's looking at her like, why are you being difficult? Why are you not going along with it? You know this is what they want to see. You know this is what they want to see. No, she's not going along with it. She's bringing the same energy of what she's dealing with off camera, on camera. She's not playing with him at all. And I love that she did that moment. The conversation was really good. And it's just crazy that we're still dealing with this. Man. Okay, we're going to end it off with Tisha and Kiki. They're going to a boxing match to box out their energy, okay? After the conversation with Courtney and how, we were family, we were close, Kiki didn't like the fact that family is coming in on them having friction. Then we talk about that damn Christmas party, which I'm tired of talking about. I'm talking about that damn Christmas party. That Tisha brought those lame-ass puppets because she thought that Kiki was being a puppet by Mel. I didn't get that, but fine. Then Tisha's feeling like I'm not going to be somebody's punching bag because she said that to Courtney, which I don't get. If you're anybody's punching bag, you're Marceau. Because Marceau does everything and anything to make you look stupid. Like he went to Africa. Like he planned date night with you, but invited Mel to have a conversation. Make that make sense. And you were being a punching bag to who? Okay. So wonder why didn't she know everything that was said at the Christmas party? Because she didn't tell you everything. She probably told you things you wanted to hear, but kept everything else off because it maybe wasn't important to her. But throughout everything that Kiki did, how she played a part, it was never meant to hurt her. Now, Kiki, I want you to be able to keep it a buck and say, you know what? In my mind, I wanted to hurt you, but I didn't want you to hurt. I didn't want to hurt you in the way you think I wanted to hurt you. Then she says that Marcel and Tisha made it bigger than what it was, which she didn't like that because Tisha never likes when things are done to her. She wants to throw out what they've done. When they fight back what she's done to them, she asks like, where'd that come from? And she says to Kiki, you have to be direct when you don't just say fluff stuff about my marriage, because that can lead to other people creating narratives, creating stuff that's just not true. Like what you did, Tisha. Because when it came down to what the big secret was about Kiki, people were saying a whole bunch of stuff about bed bugs and everything. And then we find out it was a pain addiction, a pain pill addiction. That was way worse than what everybody else thought of. Now, as far as the whole fluff about your marriage, nobody has ever made any fluff about your marriage based off of what we've already seen and heard from your husband and how he's been moving. Ain't nothing fluff about none of that. And let me be clear though, Tisha. The things you have constantly said about Mel and Martell, oh, that stuff has been rumored that you have been happy to repeat. Just like how you repeated the rumor that Melody cheated on Martell and that Sugar Mama isn't Martell's baby. Make that make sense, Tisha? Because it doesn't stop you from talking about Melody and Martell. So why do you think that you are owed some type of exemption that people shouldn't talk about your marriage when you are quick to talk about somebody else's marriage? So, other than that, I was like, bye. The way that Kiki threw it right back to Tisha, say vice versa. The same narrative you spoke about Kiki, she the same narrative about you. 2 and 2. So this is what Tisha wasn't expecting. She wasn't expecting for her shit to be put out there. She wasn't expecting to be taking accountability, but wants Kiki to take accountability. And Tisha, let's not forget, your husband laughed about your cousin's pain addiction that Millie didn't like and told Kiki about it. So I'm just like, we're going to forget that. And let's not forget all the things that Miss Wanda has said about Kiki as well. Miss me. So Tisha is frustrated that she didn't get the apology that she thought she deserved by not absolving everything that has happened. Because she says, I cannot get through to her. She always thinks it's a both sides are wrong situation. And that's not the truth. That's not. I'm done with her. But both sides are wrong, Tisha. Both sides are wrong. Kiki wasn't ready to really accept your apology, so she came on the show to expose you. You did the same thing to her by laughing about her pain addiction because you were mad that she had a friendship with Melody. Keep it a buck. Both sides are wrong. Y'all both have said things about each other. Y'all both went a funny way about it. Keep it a buck. So since Tisha isn't getting what she wants, she's feeling like, oh, well, that's fucked up for what you did, but how would you feel if I actually spoke about your marriage? I said, what does that mean, Tisha? What that mean? You're going to threaten if Kiki don't act right, if Kiki don't apologize for what she did, which doesn't put you in that category as well. You're going to expose her about her marriage? Wow. Really? You know what? Go ahead, Tisha. I'm not about to deal with another season of the Scott's family acting like they got secrets, acting like they have a whole perfect life, which they don't. And we're not going to find nothing else about them because the same season will be all about Melody and Martell, which is how this season is already starting. We got an issue with Stormy, and now we got an issue with Martell. Same storyline. So, Tisha, if you're going to do that. Kiki, call out Tisha's bluff. At any moment, if she talks about wanting to expose you, put your story out first so she doesn't spin nothing. Because I ain't got time for it, okay? Because saying how I hold a lot of stuff in and da-da-da-da, whatever, Tisha. But that was to be continued. I'm not about to deal with this because come to find out next episode, we got Tiffany coming in defending Tisha because there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of stories that Kiki wasn't showing Tisha the same loyalty, knowing that she's her cousin and that Melody is her friend. Why wasn't Kiki defending Tisha? Why was Kiki hurting Tisha like this? So I'm like, wow. This is what we doing? Okay. I don't like that, Tiffany. I really don't. But come to find out next episode, we going to see. But y'all, that's it. Excuse me. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.